We live in an area with lots of trees, and some of those trees like to send roots out everywhere. We had a very large tree in our front yard that was causing some damage, and with the risk of it falling over, we ended up having it removed. Because of all these trees, we get roots growing in our main sewer line between the house and the street that I need to clean out about once a year.
Tools and items needed: a drain auger, drain cleaning bits, a pair of pliers, an extension cord, a water hose, and some gloves.
Another trouble spot we have, but I don't think it's root related, is under the kitchen floor. Either the pipes weren't installed correctly, there's not enough slope, or there's a flat spot. But we get a clog about 20 feet down from the clean out. I did a video a while back cleaning out these two spots, and it's one of my most watched videos, so be sure to watch that one as well. I'll try to answer some of the comments and questions that were posted from that video in this one.
On the Bruce scale, technical ability I rate as a novice. Just make sure you don't get your snake stuck in your pipes. Physical ability I rate easy to difficult, depending on how heavy your auger is and if you are dealing with roots.
You can purchase or rent a sewer line cleaning machine, also known as a power auger like this one, at most home improvement centers. I purchased this half-inch power auger from Harbor Freight a few years ago. I've seen basically the same unit online, on Amazon, and other box stores. I'll leave a link in the description. This one doesn't have the power feed, but it gets the job done, and I haven't had any issues with it since I've purchased it. But before you purchase or rent one of these, you might want to make sure that you can find the drain cleanouts in your house.
This can be somewhat of a challenge if you don't know where they are, especially if your house is built on a slab foundation. Also, if your house was built before the mid-1970s, there may not be any. If you have a crawl space, the cleanouts are probably under the house. In one of my homes, the main cleanout was placed inside a crawl space vent, which made it very easy to get to without having to get under the house. A cleanout pipe is a T or a Y with a bend that connects to the drain line, so when you insert the snake into the cleanout, it will automatically start to head down the drain pipe. The main sewer line cleanout should be close to the house, 1 to 2 feet away from the foundation. It will generally go from the closest toilet out to the street or alley and connect with the city sewer line. To help locate your main sewer line at the street, look for a manhole cover or the letter S marked on the curb. That should be where your sewer line connects to the city sewer line. Then imagine a path to a toilet using straight lines and a 45-degree elbow, because anything greater than 45 would require another cleanout. Not the most accurate way, but it should get you looking in the correct spot. The main sewer line cleanout is located in these bushes about 2 feet from our house. It actually lines up with the master bathroom, not the closest toilet. To help find it the first time, I used a rake to dig into the dirt. Eventually I found it buried under some dirt and leaves. If you still can't locate one, you could hire a plumber to run a camera down your drain lines to see if they can find your main cleanout. Or check with your city's water and sewer department to see if they have any drawings of the utility lines locations that are running on your property. They are putting in a lot more cleanouts in homes than they used to. Generally, in a home, you need to clean out every 50 feet, every change in direction, and in every branch line. Other places to look for cleanouts is in a drain line vent pipe, in the garage, or utility room. For example, this one here under the bathroom sink, or this one outside the kitchen sink.
If you still can't find a cleanout, you can use a roof vent to run a snake down to clear a clog. I've never done this personally that I can remember, but it is an option. Roof vents themselves could get clogged, so it's a good idea to check on them occasionally. A clog is rare, but it can happen, usually caused by an animal or some type of debris. Slow drains, unpleasant smells, and gurgling sounds could all be caused by a clogged roof vent. Keep in mind that working on a roof adds more difficulty and danger, especially on a steep-pitched roof, so be careful up here. A roof vent will add another 10 or 20 feet before it gets to the drain line, so a short snake might not reach your clog. If you do run a snake down a roof vent, make sure the snake does not come out of the auger drum. Most handheld units like this one, the snake is not attached, so there's the possibility of the snake coming out and going down your drain. Goodbye snake, hello problems. Another option would be to remove a toilet and run a snake down from here. Since the P-trap is built into the toilet, it'll be like using a regular cleanout.
but you will have to deal with the hassle of removing and reinstalling your toilet.
I'm going to start with this clean out at the back of the house by the kitchen. And you'll notice some of my patchwork here. I had to cut a hole in the wall and get to the plumbing because we had a slab leak with a cold water line. So I ran this temporary PEX line on the outside of the house and then went into the attic and then connected it into the water lines inside the house. Our plan is to remodel the kitchen, so this wall is going to be completely changed out and torn down. There'll actually be a double door going in this spot, and then the window, and the kitchen will extend out that way about 8 feet. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss when I start uploading those kitchen remodeling videos.
You don't want to use your nice pair of gloves for this or a grippy rubber pair. What I find works best is an old pair of leather gardening gloves. Unscrew the clean out cap with some pliers. If your pipes are backed up, don't be alarmed if water starts flowing out, so just be prepared. This power auger came with 4 different bits. Some work better for clearing out grease, like this arrowhead shaped one or this U-shaped one. This 2-piece bit can clear and cut tree roots out of larger pipes. I'll be starting with a basic olive spring bit. Make sure it is tight, then insert the snake into the clean out pipe. Once I get the snake in a few feet, I'll step on the foot switch to start rotating it. Make sure the power switch is in the forward position, even when you start pulling the snake back out. Reverse should only be used to release cable tension if the bit stops spinning and to get rid of a twist in the snake. The snake auger is actually like a spring and it can get loaded up with tension, then release that tension by spinning the tip. If the tip can't spin, the tension can end up pulling the snake out of the auger drum and start twisting around itself. Not only can this be dangerous, but it can also bend and damage the snake. So be careful operating this machine. Having the auger close to the clean out can help prevent this. I'll keep feeding the snake into the clean out with my foot on the power switch. When the tip gets to the clog, the tension may start building and releasing, which you can tell by the sound the snake starts making. I do like to have a slow trickle of water flowing into the pipe to help the snake and the debris move down the drain. Of course, this won't work if your drain is completely clogged, but once you get it partially unplugged, turn on some water. Sometimes the snake will go through a clog but not break it up completely. Then the snake itself will fill in the hole it just created, causing the water to start to back up behind the snake bit. You will notice water coming up as you pull up on the snake. Just work the snake back and forth through this area and eventually it will break up the clog. Once you clear the clog, run the snake down as far as you can to clean out anything else. Then you can pull the snake back up. That's it, drum is empty, time to pull up the snake. I do feel some grease at this spot on the snake, which shows that the clog is caused by kitchen food waste. Be sure to keep the water running to clean the snake off as you pull it out. I'm going to change the olive bit out for the arrowhead bit for grease and run it down the drain pipe. Here's a safety tip. If you get too much slack in the snake, this is where it can pull itself out of the drum and twist. If you're not careful, your hand can get wrapped up in this. Keep the snake tight between the drum and the cleanout to prevent this. Generally, you want to keep the auger spinning when you pull the snake out. The bit flopping around will help remove stuff that is stuck on the sides of the pipe, especially on a grease-type clog. Once I'm past the clog area, I'll stop the spinning so I can pull the snake up faster. Remember, always keep the auger in the forward position. That should do it for the kitchen drain. This power auger weighs 65 pounds with the snake. I have a little furniture dolly I use to move it around. I usually don't use this one, but I thought I'd go ahead and show this one to you and run the snake down it. That's an interesting noise. I might have a clogged vent pipe. This power auger has a 1/3 horsepower motor and draws about 2.5 amps. so you don't need anything special power-wise. The foot switch wire feels weak and thin, so be careful with it. And the power cord does have a GFCI built into the end of the plug to keep you safe. And down we go. While I'm cleaning out this drain, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button, and share this video with your friends. 50 feet should get me pretty close to the 4-inch main line near the bathrooms on the other side of the house. I'm going to turn the water on in the kitchen to full, then pull the snake out. Before I move the power auger to the front yard, I'm going to go back up on the roof and run the small snake down the roof vents. I just want to check if they might be clogged, which would have caused that gurgling sound I heard when I took the cap off to clean out. There are a few different vents on your roof. The drain line vent is usually made of 1.5 to 2-inch plastic, whereas a water heater or furnace exhaust is made of 4-inch galvanized or stainless steel. Often you'll see a drain vent and a bathroom fan vent next to each other. Bathroom fan vents and heater exhausts should have some type of rain cover to protect them from rain and debris. I'm at some type of blockage. There it goes. Let's take a look. Ugh. It looks wet and brown. I'm gonna go grab the hose so I can put water down the pipe and run the snake down again. Make sure the set screw is tight. Put the snake in the pipe. Add some water. And work the snake in this area. It goes through this area much easier now. I'll start to pull it out and squirt some water down the vent pipe to clean off the snake. Putting water down the vent pipe, then listening to how well the water drains, is a good way to tell if your pipe is free of clogs. Now to the vent pipe above the kitchen. This is stopping about 2 feet down. It might be catching on a pipe joint because it just stops. There it goes. Work it a bit through here. There are a couple of elbows in this pipe that are required to get the vent pipe lined up with the clean out below. Now it's going down fairly easily. I think the snake was getting hung up on the elbows, but there also might have been some type of blockage. Now for the water test. Sounds good. I'll pull this out and move on to the front yard. I'll go ahead and swap the bits. I've done this a few times and I know that I can just start with the 2-piece root cutting bit. The screw is tight, now I can put the snake down the clean out. But before I turn it on, I'll grab the garden hose to add a trickle of water. Try to avoid knocking dirt and debris down the clean out where you're trying to clear a clog, not add to it. This usually goes in pretty easy at first. I might need a little twist to get it past the Y. I usually hit something 15 to 20 feet down. When the snake loads up with some tension, I'll stop the spinning, then pull up on the snake and hopefully pull out some roots. In the past, it has taken up to 20 minutes to work through this root clog. You can hear the bit spin and release tension. There are more aggressive root cutting bits you can purchase. I haven't used one on this machine, but I have used one on a rented machine. Be certain you have a root problem before running this down and causing damage and making your pipes worse. Not sure if the camera can see it, but I painted the snake last time to mark where the clog was. It's really faint, but you can still see some of the white paint, and the snake is starting to get caught on something. The weight of the snake will move it down the sewer line fairly quick in this area. Having a painted mark on the snake helps me control the feed rate so I can gradually enter a clog instead of it going in too quickly and getting stuck. Another good reason to paint a mark on the snake is the mark will show you if the auger bit is cutting through and moving down the pipe or just sitting there spinning. Think of it as slowly chipping away at it compared to grabbing the whole clog at once. If you listen carefully, you can hear the snake loading up with tension, then releasing it by spinning the auger bit, splashing the water. That's the end of the snake. Now I need to pull it all back up. It went through this area better than I was expecting. Maybe removing a tree did help with the root problems we were having. Another option is to pour a root-killing product down your pipes. I'm just really not a fan of chemicals in my pipes, plus the directions state not to use your toilet or drain any water for 12 hours. Huh, no roots on the bit. Nothing compared to last time I did this. It was going through some type of clog. I guess whatever it was washed down the pipe like it's supposed to.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully this video's been helpful and I answered a few questions for you. Hit the like button and subscribe to Brewbills to see more DIY videos like this one. Speaking of other videos, here's the other one I made using this power auger. Have you ever thought about remodeling your backyard? Check out this playlist. That's enough maintenance work for today. Time to go build something.